Timothy David Dallas, November 11th, 1983, and I live in Providence, Rhode Island. I've served in Operation Enduring Freedom, which is Afghanistan, United States Marine Corps. Currently, Sergeant. I've served abroad throughout the United States, Afghanistan, and a lot of the Asian Pacific countries. I joined honestly just out of curiosity. You know, you grow up as a kid my days, and it's cowboys and Indians and good guys, bad guys, all that kind of good stuff. And you grow up and you want to do it, and you get the opportunity. Some people jump at it, some people don't. I jumped at it. A typical day here isn't a typical day in the actual operating forces in the fleet. My typical day here as an inspector instructor staff member for reservist is a little bit different, more administrative here. But in the fleet, a typical day is usually about 05. You're up, you're getting ready for PT. You're about used by 05:30, 06. You're out exercising, physical training, PTing with your unit, your squad, your platoon, whatever it may be. You start out with that. Usually by 07:30, 08, you're done with the physical fitness side in the morning. You're going to have your chow. It's a normal, go to the chow hall, grab something to eat, get ready for the day. And then it's a daily task. A lot of people think that it's, go, 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 go all the time in the Marine Corps or even in most services. But it's a pretty normal day. You get up, what we do mostly is we exercise, we go eat, and then we go throughout our daily task, whatever it may be, whether it be extra, more training throughout that day, whether it be classes, whether it be truck maintenance, vehicle maintenance, anything that we may have to do that day. It's a normal schedule. And then afternoon chow, back to whatever take a lunch break. It's the lunch hour. You take your lunch and then you go back and you continue on for whatever missions you have that day. We call missions just daily task, the task that we have that day. And we get it done. Usually by that afternoon, that evening, you're off work and it's a normal day. I did. I did see combat in Afghanistan in 2010. It was it's interesting, honestly. Everyone handles it differently. Everyone has a different take on it. For me, I'm a very curious person. It was more curious and more curiosity driven for my time there. You think of it, everyone's like, "Oh, you're in war. Is it like the movies?" You do have your movie moments, but those are very, very brief. You're very focused when you're in war. You're focused about the people you're with. You're focused on their safety. They're focused on your safety. It's more of a camaraderie and a bonding. And then you focus on why you're there. For me personally, I was there to help the local populace. And I personally feel that, we made that difference. We really made that difference. While I was there, my unit was there. But in combat, a lot of people think, "Oh, is it like the movies? Are you running around? Are you killing people? Are you doing crazy things?" And what normal society outside of the military thinks may be crazy and outrageous things, they're actually very normal for us. That's what we're trained to do. And, we're trained to be able to handle those situations and those intense situations. And we do it, day in, day out, not thinking, this is something outrageous and crazy. It's just a normal task for us. A lot of pressure is a lot of stress. And they're not really like stress or pressure pushed down from our command on us. It's stress or pressure personally, like we put on ourselves. It's one of those, hey, I want to do my best. I want to be my best. I want to take care of my guys to my right and my left. I want them to take care of me. Those are the stresses that you have. You find yourself worrying less about minute issues and more about like you and me together and what we're doing. So you really don't think about anything else. You think, hey, am I doing this right? If I take this certain action, if I move this certain way, if I go to a certain place, if I do something, is that going to affect the guy to my left and my right? Is that going to affect, the overall mission? Is that going to, those are the types of pressures that we deal with. You don't really think about, I would say minute things like you're not worried about your next meal. That's, you're not worried about food. You're not worried about water. You're not worried about anything but the people you're with. And those are the pressures and stress that you deal with. Hey, am I doing the right thing? Am I going to be there for my buddy? Am I going to be there when he needs me? Is something going to happen? Am I going to be able to react the right way? Am I going to be able to save his life if something happens? Those are the things that we think about, that I personally thought about every time we'd go out on patrol, we'd go out and do something. And really the stress is leaving our compound and making sure, am I doing this right? Is everything going right? If this happens, what's going to happen next? We're always trying to think ahead. And then the stress is really released when we get back. when we step back into our compound and we sort of take our gear off, it's instantaneously gone. You know, so it's not really stress as in I'm not going to do well. It's stress that we put on ourselves as, are we going to make this happen? Can I be there for my buddy? Homecoming's awesome. It's your homecoming actually starts the day you really get on a plane and to start heading back. That's when you really just you take that deep breath, you exhale, you're like, all right, we made it, we did it. Homecoming, once you step off that plane, I would equate it to being a child during Christmas. You know, you're thinking, oh man, where's my family? You're looking, you're like, okay, don't get too excited, don't take off running. You know, it's just like you're opening that gift. So we get off the buses. Most of the time, we get off the buses, and our families are already there in a spot. And you're trying to maintain what we call our bearing. You're trying to be like, okay, stay in formation, make sure we march out here, you know, like we're supposed to, and then we stop, we get our speech, and then we get dismissed, and it's an awesome feeling. It's almost like being in a parade because we march down in front of everyone, and you sort of look out of the corner of your eyes. You're like, "Where's my family? Oh, I see them. There they are." And you see your kids, you see your wife, you see your girlfriend, you see your mom, you see your father, you see everyone that you've thought about since you've been gone, and it's an overwhelming rush of emotion. And you don't know if you want to cry, you don't know if you want to scream, you don't know if you want to yell, and then of course with the stigmatism of our attitudes, like, "Oh, I'm a Marine. I got to be hard. I got to be serious. You know, I got to be serious. You know, I got to show that professionalism." But inside, you're a 4-year-old kid jumping out, ready to go. It's pretty amazing. It's a rush of emotion. Um, a lot of guys, you know, there's a stigmatism for males, like, oh, don't cry. No, you cry. When your kid runs up to you and hugs you, when your wife runs up to you and hugs you, when your mom's there, your dad's there, whoever may be there for you, when they're there and you get up and hug them, yeah, tears roll. You know, it's like I said, it's that instant rush. It's one of the best feelings I've ever had is coming home from deployments and seeing my loved ones there.